So I did want to ask you about how you got into massage. And I know the story is unceremonious, but it's so interesting because it's such a self-expression for you. I mean, it's such an obvious self-expression for you. I've had the privilege of being worked on by you, so I know the kind of a the kind of a self-expression it is for you, and the kind of a gift that it is that you give people when you're massaging them. How did that come to be that way? Given you, when you were going into it, it didn't seem like, there wasn't a particular call to you, or maybe I have that kind of, maybe there was like way deep down in the recesses somewhere. How did it emerge to be such a powerful self-expression for you?
I think it's, like you said, it was more, looking back, it was deep down call that I did not realize. It took someone else pointing it out or saying, I think you should do this. And someone that I trusted, that they saw me on a deep level and sometimes understood and knew things about me before I did. She was my aunt, who at the time, almost like a second mother, and mothers know their children sometimes better than they know themselves. And my motivation at that time was I wanted something that I could be in school, in and out, and be working and making money quickly. And you could go to massage school and then be working in a year. So that was my first motivation. My first massage I ever received was at massage school.
Wow.
When you first go in, they have someone that's right about to graduate massage you. And I think from that moment, it was those, I didn't even know what I was getting into, but it sparked something where I was like, wait a minute, I really liked this. And then being in massage school, learning about the different systems, the endocrine system, the nervous system, all the different systems and how they connect, how they all intertwine and have to do with each other, it became, for me, just everything I'd always, or just a beginning of finding everything I'd always been looking for. It was, I've said, like a religious experience. It made us like, it made it almost obvious that there was a higher divine something, just to be so perfect and think of every little detail. It just, how there's something greater at work there. And then I always loved watching people that could dance or play music and express themselves artistically, which I always, probably just because afraid to be bad, felt like I couldn't do it and would be afraid to dive into it. But then with massage, I found where I could just express myself artistically. Partially because I would be more diving and focusing on someone else instead of focusing on myself, which I can do a lot.
Can't we all? Yes.
And so it's focusing and pouring into someone else, but then just letting an artistic expression flow. And then it was later I realized that also it would trigger in a certain meditative breathing and emptying, which I didn't quite connect until years later, that's one reason why I would feel so amazing afterwards. And just, it was like, I found my calling by, like I said, by someone else, by a mother that knows her child, and listening to that, knowing that I didn't necessarily know it was best for myself at that time. So following that voice that knew better than me.
So powerful. Being someone who's been massaged by you, everything you say, I'm like, yep, check, check, check. Yes, the artistry, and also, as a yoga teacher and as a musician, that I just get it, and I get it, and I get your love for the human body, like just your love for the design of the human body, and I appreciate it. I'm happy to have benefited from it. Now, when you're working, what do you find yourself mostly drawing on? Because you're a multidisciplinary massage therapist. You're coming from a lot of different modalities. What do you find yourself when you're actually in session with somebody that you're drawing on mostly?
Not sure. I'm trying to figure, like, drawing on.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure how to answer that. It's and I feel like I say it a lot, but it's just listening to what the other person's body is telling me. And it's taken a lot of practice to where the techniques come second nature, where I don't have to think about them, and then just allowing the person's body to tell me which technique and at what time, and to also that fine line and dance of letting their body guide me, and then sometimes pushing it a little further, but also knowing when to let it tell me. And it's like that back and forth dance of me putting my will, but then allowing the other person, their body, to give their will, and we get to the healing together.
Beautiful. What are the different disciplines that you're trained in?
It's
a long list, I imagine.
And I think it gets looked down on as not being. It gets looked down on as being a more foo-foo technique, but the Swedish, I actually love it. And like the effleurage and like and the flow and the gliding, it helps to just smooth everything out together, and then you can add in the myofascial release, the different tie stretches and angles, and the trigger point, like release therapy. You can get all, and then like kind of go back and forth, just like I said, my will, their will, like with the sweet, just to bring in that, almost like trick them into, because it's therapeutic and getting the job done, but it's nice and it's fun and you like it at the same time. So it's the same, where the different, all the different modalities, just finding the combination and flowing in and out of them all in one session.
What is the objective, according to you? What's the objective of a fantastic massage?
Oh. Well, that can have, it depends on what the goal is, because sometimes you're in pain and you do not care about it flowing or feeling good. You just need to not be in that pain, and you need the job done. And if we can ease that pain, then that's a fantastic massage, even if it didn't feel good and wasn't super flowy. My favorite, personally, is that perfect marriage of both, where it's very, like, you almost are in that one foot in the door of just an altered conscious, not quite asleep, but not quite awake, not quite in this realm.
Yes. Yes.
If you can spend a majority of a massage in that realm, that's a fantastic massage. And in that realm is where that's where the best healing happens. If you can get in and you can
you get a lot of that information from the person you're working with. Yes. Like,
yes.
You'll if they get to, correct me if this is not how you approach it, but they really get to say what the massage is for.
Yes.
When they're working with you. Again, I'm saying that's been my experience working with you. Has been, I get to say if this is like what this is about today.
100%.
Yeah.
That's actually always bothered me a little bit when I've heard a massage therapist say, well, that's my massage, that's how I massage. And I'm kind of like, well, it's good to have your style, your techniques, something, but it's not your massage. It's their massage. It's their session. It's their time. You're there to serve and take care of them completely. To completely take care of someone in all aspects. And I go as far as even the before and the after. They don't have to provide me anything. They don't have to do anything. When I leave, everything is 100% the way I left it, even to the angle that their chair is facing, so that there's just nothing in their mind that they have to hold or carry, nothing in their body that they have to carry or hold. I take care of all of it. And it's whatever they need and want. At the time, at that day, because that could change from one massage to another.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. One more question is, where do you see, what's your vision for yourself in delivering this to people? What do you see for yourself in the future? How do you want this to look? What do you want your contribution to be in the world of body work with people?
I'm still figuring that out. But lately it's been starting the little idea and call to fine tune and create, I guess, my own modality. Kind of put more of a structure in how you can mold and meld the different modalities together to create this unique, how to deliver this experience to people, and then teaching it to others, because I'm only one person and everyone deserves to be completely taken care of, even if it's not by me personally.
Good.